had her right before they left the state and took off on their all over the place thing that they were doing. She threatened to kill me almost 10 years ago because I didn't believe John was a prophet of God.
Okay, can you repeat that again?
She threatened to kill me about 10 years ago whenever I told her I did not believe John was a prophet of God.
She threatened to kill you because you didn't believe that John was a prophet?
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm her daughter, so if you can just imagine, you know, what kind of thing. I've watched the videos and I've seen her talk about people, the threats and stuff like that, but I'm thinking if people only knew that what you've done to your own children and the threats your own children, you know,
yeah,
it astounds me. But she me that anybody that didn't believe John, or anybody who didn't believe the prophet, and she was speaking of John when she said this, God has given us the power to scour them from the face of the earth, and we will use it. And she was talking to me, and I took that as a threat against my life.
So basically, nothing much has changed, because if we look at these situations going on right now on YouTube, and I do not know if you know anything about it, it is basically those that do not, basically those that oppose John and basically, do not believe he's a prophet. We came to find out that there's basically nothing they will not do to, to persecute you or to slander you or to shut you up and,
No, and I believe, and that's how they've always been, and her especially. I mean, my dealings with John, after I found out about him, his own daughter, became extremely limited. I did not want this man anywhere near me or my family after that. Wow. But the feelings I had before that, I could see that in him. I knew that there was something wrong. I believe, honestly, that John is a very dangerous man.
You believe that John is a very dangerous man?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's, I know that she is, but he is, I don't know how to put it other than he is the ringleader, because I know that she doesn't do anything. He's got a very dim view on women and women's opinions, and I have seen, and my other members of my family have seen him talk to women like, he'll automatically address the man present instead of the female, and he'll say rude and condescending things, so I don't see where now my mother has a lot of control over her life. It's probably all of him. Anything that she says and does now is going to be with his approval, just knowing what I know of him. But in that same respect, my mother also has the capacity at any time to end arguments, and she doesn't. So,
all right,
that's a choice we all make.
So concerning John, he doesn't believe that women really should have a say or an opinion in anything.
Absolutely, and that I have seen firsthand. A lot of my family has. Her own sisters have. I think the last time they tried to visit in person with my brother had to put him in check for talking down to my brother's wife. And, it was a respect issue. You don't come into somebody's home and talk to their wife like they're just dirt. And John was doing that, and I think my brother had to say something to him for talking to my sister-in-law like she was, less than a person. So this is not John's whole behavior. He hasn't ever said, I don't like women, but his behavior indicates that he feels like because he's a man, he's superior.
Well, that explains a lot to me concerning that which has been going on between John and Sheren and this very ministry, which has a woman as a leader, by the way. This explains a lot.
It would explain a lot. If that's the case, then it would probably have a lot to do with the fact that she is a woman, because he is all about, he's a man, and so he knows everything, and he doesn't even want to hear your opinion. If you're a woman, it doesn't matter. And she won't, my mother, I want to say that she has always been very susceptible to people that are overbearing like that. She's always been a follower, really, not a leader, and so it doesn't surprise me that the things are kind of this way with him.
Alright, so everything that Sheren basically does and speaks is under the supervision of John.
Oh yes. And it got to the point, she won't even, the last time she contacted one of us, he wouldn't let her talk on the phone with without it being on speakerphone and him listening to the conversation. He's so afraid.
Which would be which would be your brother. Your brother was on the phone.
Hmm?
Was that your brother with Sheren on the phone?
Right, and he had it on speakerphone because he had to hear the conversation with her own child. And so he's very controlling, it's very disturbing. I know that they go from place to place, joining different religious groups and stuff like that. And I know that their views change a lot. My main concern is that they're going to start their own, and I know people throw around the world where this place is a cult or that place is a cult or this religion is a cult, and as to who is right on that, I don't know, but I will tell you that if John ever manages to get his own following, quote unquote, going, it will be a cult situation. He is not in any way, shape, or form the religious leader that he claims he is.
All right. So this is one of the reasons why you feel this burden to bring this truth out now. It is because you want to prevent that from happening, and on top of all, people's children are not even safe in.
No, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and I can't. I asked my sister. I said, I don't think I can sit back and get conscious. I don't want to be afraid of them anymore. I don't want to live afraid that they're going to come and try to do something to me or my children, and I can't sit back and get conscious anymore and watch what's going on and know that at some point in the future that some child may be injured by John because of the way that he is and not say anything, because I feel like I'm a part of that. I'm just as much to blame, and I want people should at least know what they're dealing with when they deal with John and Sheren.
I really admire and respect your courage to come forward here, because if I get this right, it is basically fear that has kept you back all this time to bring these truths up.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. I've lived a good portion of my life terrified of this woman and him.
Terrified?
And we all have, to a certain extent, all three of us.
Wow. Okay. So now after like 10 years, it is time to no longer receive this spirit of fear. And I believe for sure that for a change they will fear you now. And, I think a lot of people will be set free through this.
Well, it's going to be hard for them to stand up. I mean, they're going to stand up and call me a liar, but the fact is, everybody watch. There won't be any slander lawsuits filed against me, and I'll tell you why. Because the truth is on my side. I have a whole family full of people, not just mine, but her immediate family, people that, my aunts on her side, and people that know her as well as I do. There's nobody that will defend her. No one, because they all know the truth. So, just watch. I mean, they're going to call me a liar, they're going to call me saying I slandered them. Well, but, they all have the recourse of the law in the United States, and they can feel free to use it. I would actually ask them to give it a try. So,
if I refer people to you, if we put out these videos, then you are willing to really, to testify of John and Sheren, and basically your whole family, if needed to, would back you up.
Yes, absolutely. And my brother and my sister have also said that when this video is posted, that all three of us will post to it, telling people we are actually her children, and you guys can feel free to message us on YouTube if you'd like, and we will talk to any one of you. And we're the only three kids she has, and so we grew up with her, and we know her better than just about anybody else. So.
All right, okay. Wow, this is quite a testimony, and this is basically just a fraction of all the things that happened, huh?
Yeah, it's just a small piece of the pie. I had almost 18 years of torment and torture at this woman's hands.
Wow.
And so that was just a very small piece. It would take forever to get it all out, because the abuse wasn't only physical, it was mental too. And I spent more years dealing with the mental abuse that she laid on me than the physical by far.
So,